we have a standing policy. We always get started on time, and we try our best to finish early. That's a good thing, right? I'll try to go through this. Sophomore orientation and high school graduation. That's the high school principal's 2 best days of the year. They are so much fun. I love welcoming new sophomores. I love to try to figure out who's more nervous, the 10th grader or their mom. It's fun as they come in because I can usually pick it out. And most of the kids are okay. The parents are sometimes a little bit leery. But the first thing I'll tell you, that we love kids and we're going to take care of your child. I promise you. If at any point you don't feel like we're taking care of your child, you come see me. We take that as a challenge and we'll do everything we can, I promise you. I pull my phone out in my hand because I'm going to model what we expect at Cabot High School. At Cabot High School, when we start class, the phone goes up. It goes in the pocket, it goes in the backpack, and it doesn't come out. So I just put my phone up, and I'm going to ask you in the audience to do the very same thing. Students and parents, just give me, I'll be less than an hour, I hope, and I'm going to ask you to put your phone up and put it away. There'll be a couple of times that I'll ask you, or I'll tell you, pull it out, and you can take a picture of the slide and give you some information that you might need. You'll hear me talk about the cell phone 2 or 3 times, I promise you. I may even do a little preaching on that. There's still some seats down front if you're interested, and some right here in the middle, and there's some over here too. So you're welcome to come down. I left this slide up because I want you to know this is how you can follow us at Cabot High School on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our website. So those are the ways that you can keep up with us and keep up with your student on our campus. Welcome to Cabot High School. Again, this is for sophomore students or brand new students to Cabot High School. We think that we have the best high school in the state of Arkansas. We have the best, good job. We not only have the best students, and I'm going to tell you, I've been in the business a while, and I'm telling you, I have friends all over the state of Arkansas. I have friends that are principals outside the state of Arkansas. And when we compare stories, moms, dads, when we compare stories, they don't believe me. Does that tell you something? When I talk about how good we have it in Cabot, Arkansas, they don't believe me. They can't believe the things that we have, the things that we do, the things that we entrust our kids with, and the parents and the support we have in Cabot, Arkansas. We are the largest high school in Arkansas. You may not know that. But by number, we're the largest high school in Arkansas. 10-12. Senior class of 2025. How about that, parents? That kind of hurt you a little bit. Didn't hurt some of you. I'd like to introduce my team, if I could, the Cabot High School team. We'll start. Adam Kaler, if you would just raise your hand. Mr. Kaler is over here on the stage left. He is in charge of the Student Success Center. He's our technology guru. He does whatever's needed. He's a great assistant principal, and I'll tell you that our principal team, I am so blessed to have those people on the same team with me because they make me better every single day. Mr. Harrison. Tim Harrison is here somewhere. Raise your hand, Mr. Harrison. He's right back here. Some of you, no, that group was last year. They don't know you. But Mr. Harrison, I got him a couple years ago from Cabot Freshman Academy. Very proud to have him. We have, Mr. Harrison is in charge of the Fine Arts Department, teachers, and again, other things that we have him do. We have Miss Nicole Gatewood. She's here somewhere. She's in the back. I can't ever introduce her without bragging on her. She leads the Career Tech department at Cabot High School. And let me tell you, parents, we have the best Career Tech department in America. I'm telling you. We have more offerings, and we have more things for our kids than a lot of colleges have in the Career Tech department. So if you're interested in auto mechanics, agri, welding, business, computers, robots, if you're interested in anything like that, she's your contact. Miss Whisker. Miss Whisker is here, right here. She's up here on the stage left as well. Miss Whisker is in charge of science, and she's a great resource for students. She loves kids. She's going to be available at any time for you also. Moving down the list, Mr. Mike Fasinelli. Mr. Mike Fasinelli is in charge of social studies and special services on our campus. We call him the Energizer Buddy. He is all over campus. He is literally all over campus. And you'll think, I just saw him back at the other wing, and he's here. He does that. We wonder where he's at, and he shows up, and he just kind of materializes. He wears me out. We have Miss Angela Beason up here in the front. Miss Beason is the newest member of our team. Miss Beason is over the math department, and we are so glad that she joined us. She brings us a wealth of knowledge, not only math, but in just dealing with students. So that is the high school team. And while I'm here, I'll go ahead and introduce our counselors. Mr. Davenport, I saw him. Mr. Davenport is right over here. And you'll see what part of the alphabet that they're in charge of. So if you have, you'll be able to see who your child's counselor is. Miss Jeanette DeJesus, she's over here on the left up here, and she's also kind of the lead counselor. She's the communication piece between the admin and the counseling center, the Student Success Center. Miss Christy Melder is a brand new member of our team. Glad to have her aboard. She's going to be in charge of testing, but she'll also be help with a student load as well. Miss Julie Wilson is here. She's over here. Great counselor. She's let me brag on our counselors. I'll just tell you, our counselors are compassionate. They're caring. They're wanting to help you and your child any way they can. So if there's an issue with your child, your counselor may be your first contact. So again, just make sure you know who your counselors are. That's Miss Wilson. Miss Jane Snyder is right up front over here. Again, another great person to talk to. She has a great connection with kids, and she loves all of them love kids and want to help that way. And Miss Gibson is here. I knew she was here. She's up front over here. Again, another great person for your child to get to know, and they'll take care of you. So that is the high school admin and counseling team, and we're here for you. 860 of you darlings. 860, the largest class to ever go through Cabot. The largest class. And they tell me, probably the best class. So, we are excited. We are excited to have this group on our campus. We've heard good things about you. And so, looking forward to working with all of you. 2249, that's how many kids will be on this campus. 2,249. Now, that's only 10th, 11th, and 12th. That doesn't count the 9th grade group. And I will tell you, that's not the largest class number we've had. Last year's group was about 100 and something stronger, bigger than that number. So the big numbers don't scare us. They don't bother us at all. All right, let me brag. I already have a little bit, hadn't I? I'm going to brag some more. First of all, U.S. News and World Report Best High Schools. We've been nominated 2 years in a row by the U.S. News and World Report as one of the best high schools in Arkansas. They take into account graduation rate, standardized test scores, ACT, Aspire. They take into account our AP test data, and they rate schools compared to other schools. And for 2 years running now, we've been named a U.S. News and World Report Best High School. We're proud of that. Best of the best, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. The last 3 years we've been a finalist, and the last 4 out of 5 we've been a finalist. We've been named the best of the best, I think, once or twice. And then just recently we were named again as one of the best of Central Arkansas. And we'll push that on social media when the voting starts, because it's simply you see it in the Democrat Gazette. It's simply a popularity contest, and you just encourage people to vote, and that kind of, and we're shameless. We'll encourage you to vote for us. I'll talk more about it, but our AP test data was stellar. We're very proud of that. We test as many or more students than just about anybody in the nation, and our test data is very strong. Arkansas Academic State Champions. This past spring, our boys track team was named the Academic State Champions of Arkansas in track, our track team. That's awesome. That's a big honor. That's across the state, all classifications. It doesn't matter what size school. We had the highest cumulative GPA on our boys track team of anyone in the state. We're very proud of that. Okay, right in the very center, School of Innovation. We were just notified recently that Cabot High School has been designated a School of Innovation within the state of Arkansas. It was a rigorous process. It was about a 3-year process where we had to jump through some hoops and do some things to prove and to document that we were doing exactly what we said we were doing. They bragged on us, the State Department bragged on us throughout the process. So we are now Cabot High School of Innovation. It's a really good designation. We're proud of that. And I'll kind of talk about that again a little more here in just a minute. We had to have 3 goals. To be designated, we had to have some goals. And these were our 3 goals. Social and emotional needs. We were going to take care of kids no matter what the need. Career readiness. We were going to send kids away from Cabot High School with not only a diploma, but with career skills. Skills that are marketable and they can use wherever they go, whether it be college or whatever, the workforce, whatever. And then the very bottom, making curriculum relevant. Making curriculum relevant for our kids. So those were our 3 goals, and we demonstrated and we had the data to back up those 3 things, and we were designated a School of Innovation. And here are some other things that go along with that. A couple of things that I want to mention. The very bottom one, we are preparing students for career opportunities. College is a great option. We encourage college. It is not the only option. How many of you know a plumber making 6 figures? How many of you know an electrician making 6 figures? There are other things to do besides go to college. How many of us know people that just got out of college with a huge college debt? Yeah, I mean, so there's options, and we want our kids to know what those options are. And that's a part of our School of Innovation. We're going to prepare them for whatever they decide to do. You'll hear me say over the next 3 years, you'll hear me say graduation is a big step. That is your next step. You'll hear that for 3 years. But it better not be the only thing you ever do. That's just your next step. That's what you've got to do next. That's what your goal is from 3 years from now. You walk across that stage. Let me tell you, students, there's not anything you've done yet that will make your parents as proud as when they see you walk across that stage and grab that diploma. That's a great feeling. That's another great highlight for a high school principal, I promise you. Especially seeing those kids coming across the stage that you think, oh my gosh, I can't believe you made it. And we do that, I promise. But it's a good feeling, and those are the kids that just warm our heart, because not only have we poured our hearts into them, But a lot of times, we don't know their story. And we don't know what they've had to overcome to just get there. So that's a great feeling. This past class that graduated in May, it's a moving target, but somewhere around $10 to $20 million in scholarships. Yeah. That's huge. That's money in your pocket, parents. Students, that's money in your parents' pocket, which translated comes to you, right? We try to keep up with that. What's the number? And it's absolutely impossible. We don't really know how much money. For example, this past graduating class, we had 3 students that were appointed to a military academy. 3 students, unprecedented. And each one of those scholarships, anybody have an idea what they're worth? Somebody throw out a number.
$50 million.
It's $500,000. Right around $500,000 if you're appointed to the Air Force Academy or Army or Navy or wherever it is, it's $500,000. We had one student that was appointed to the Naval Academy. He was also appointed or given a full scholarship offer to Texas A&M. So he obviously had to choose, and I won't make any Aggie jokes at this point. But anyway, just kind of let you look at that for just a second. I told you about the advanced placement exams. In Arkansas, if you take the AP test, if you take an AP class, you have to take the test. We administer almost, maybe more, I don't know, I need to find out the answer to that, more AP tests than just about anybody in the state. I'd say we're in the top 10 anyway. And you have to score a 3, 4, or a 5 out of 5. And if you score a 3, 4, or 5, then you get college credit for that class. Well, if you look up here, you can see we had 62% of our students that scored a 3, 4, or 5. And those tests are hard, and they're long, and they're stressful. Very proud of our kids. We also have 579 college credits earned from ASUBB. Let me give you an example. We have freshman composition, 1 and 2. First semester 1, second semester 2. That's 6 hours of college credit you can earn as a senior. You can take that class in lieu of your senior English class. It's at a greatly reduced price, and it will go toward any college in Arkansas. And we have this many, 579 college credits. We also have freshman biology, Spanish 1 and 2. Spanish 1 and 2. What am I missing? Algebra and statistics. So and we're looking to add to that all the time. We're trying to find the right ones to add. These are opportunities that you kids can earn before you step foot on a college campus. I had a son graduate several years ago. When he walked onto his freshman year, he had 12 college hours under his belt. That's a semester. That's a great opportunity for our kids. 1,900 business and industry certifications. That's things like OSHA training. That's things like welding certificates, safe serve food certificates, and there's I can't even tell you all of them. But what that means, those kids that earn those certificates, if they go into the workforce, it guarantees them a pay bump more than a person that comes in without that certificate, which could be as much as $1 an hour raise when they walk in the door. We had one executive in Cabot, a banker, that told us this a couple of weeks ago, he doesn't care what the certification is. It didn't matter, but he would hire them because they attained something, they had something to show for what they did, they were committed, and they attained it. he said it matters to him to hire people that are like that. So again, just one of the things we do at Cabot High School. 77% of our kids register and are accepted into college. 77, this is last year's senior class. 13% indicated they were going into the workforce. Internships. We had 6% that were accepted into a technical vocational school. And then we have 4% that went straight into the military. That's a pretty good breakdown of this past senior class. Let me keep going with my introductions. I think Officer Roper, he's the, would you raise your hand, Officer Roper? I know you're here probably. I know he's here. He may not be here. But anyway, we have two on-site certified law enforcement officers on Cabot High School. That's on our campus. They're here almost every day. They are awesome. They are a great resource for the kids. The kids love them more than they love us. They connect with them. They are great to have. They're just a great resource on our campus. They make us feel better. They keep us safe. We are very pleased and very proud to have that. We also have 4 campus security guards. That's our go-kart, electric cart guys that we have, and they're all over campus. They check the parking lots. They help with traffic flow, and they're just another set of eyes on campus. 175 plus cameras that are watching your kids every single day. I'm not going to say you can go anywhere, but you just about can't go anywhere on this campus and not be videoed. We have cameras in the parking lots, on campus, on the front of the building, on the side of the building, on the back of the building. We have it on Champs. We have it on the field house. We have it in the parking lot. We have cameras everywhere. We have parents that will call us and they'll want us to know if, my son's car got hit on the weekend. Can you check for us? We have to be careful on that one, but we try to help if we can. We do everything we can. We find perpetrators on our cameras, and they run for, it's on a hard drive, so we keep it, it's there. We try to take care of your kids. We try to take care of your kids, and we'll do the best we can. I'll also tell you that we have about 150 teachers. You have all the principals, all the counselors, you have all the custodians, you have all the cafeteria ladies, and we tell them just what we're telling you now. Keep an eye on our kids. I will also tell you, parents, moms, dads, that your son or daughter, I'll give you my word on this, your son or daughter can't take 50 steps on this campus and not run into an adult. That's significant. We watch your kids. I tell this story every year, but I had a dad come to me one time and he said, look, something's going on. He said, my daughter says that you're stalking her. I said, no, sir. I said, I'm pretty busy. And he said, no, she says that she goes out between classes and she goes to lunch, and after she says that you're watching her. And I said, well, sir, I am. I said, I watch all 2,400 kids on this campus, and so do my assistants. And all of a sudden, the kind of a light went off in his head. And he said, oh, I see what you're saying. He said, you are watching her and the rest of them. I said, absolutely. We do. We watch your kids. It's uncanny. It's uncanny how we can sense things happening. We're not perfect, but we can sense when things are not right. It's kind of funny. We all carry radios, and every once in a while, somebody will come on the radio and say, check out that area over by the staircase. It doesn't look right. And all of a sudden, the fight breaks out or something. We watch those kind of things. And so, largest high school enrollment in Arkansas. We have a 45-acre campus. We have 11 buildings. You can see the numbers there. We're proud. We have roughly 120 teachers with advanced degrees. That's pretty significant. That's real significant, actually. And the sports and the clubs. Our Student Success Center, we're real proud of that. We have transformed that in the last 2 or 3 years. And I'm just telling you, they are there. Our counselors are there to solely take care of your kids, whatever they need. That's a safe place to go. That's a safe place to go find an adult, a counselor that you can talk to, you can safely share things with. It's a great place. We're very proud of that. They also handle scheduling needs. Also, they handle socioeconomic needs, emotional needs. We have a number of kids that on Friday when they leave campus, they take a backpack of food home with them. That comes from our... I didn't pay her. I didn't. But we do. We take care of our kids. And I'm just telling you, this is economically a tough time. It's tough. We all know that. It's just tough. But I'll tell you, I'll give you my word, if there's things that you need or your child needs, you let us know. We're going to make it happen. We will make it happen. And I'm going to tell you another thing we're bad about. We're bad about asking for money. You need to pay for this. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. But I'll tell you, and I'll give you my word here, do not ever let money or the lack of money stop you from taking advantage of anything we offer on this campus. Anything. And whenever these sophomores become seniors, parents that have had seniors before, you know exactly what I mean. That senior year, you just think, oh my gosh, because it's so expensive. But school's expensive. So I'm just telling you, we'll take care of your kids. If there's any issues, don't ever let money be the issue. You let us know, we will find it. This has become more and more of an issue, citywide, statewide, nationwide. We deal with this. We watch these kids. Our teachers are phenomenal. And they watch those 25 to 28, sometimes 30 kids file into their classroom. And they watch the faces, and they watch them interact. And they also know when something's not right. And a lot of times they let us know, they let the counselors know, or they simply talk to the kids. We also ask you to keep us informed if there's things going on that we can help with. Schedules and dates, you can look at this. Tomorrow morning, some of you sophomores are tech savvy. Y'all are on top. How many of you, I need to know. I just need to know. Raise your hand if you got your schedule Monday morning because they went live accidentally. Some of you are not being honest because there's a bunch more I know, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. Wasn't a big deal. It happens often, actually. But Monday morning, instead of just releasing seniors, something happened. They pushed the wrong button, and it released everybody's schedule. So if you didn't get your schedule, sophomores, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. You get to pick. You can go online and you can find your schedule. And let me tell you, parents. Let me tell you. Number one, the number one thing we hear. The number one thing we hear. It's not, man, I wish I'd have got that teacher, or man, I like that teacher, or man, I like my schedule, or I wish my schedule. The number one thing we hear. Can I change lunches? Now here's did y'all see, what was that sophomore number? Y'all remember? 860. Here's what you're going to hear, Mom, Dad. There's no one on my lunch. Well, I can guarantee there's 430 of them, I promise you. So, parents, if you hear that, you can say, you know what, Mr. Hawkins said that's balanced. And guess what? That's a great way to meet new friends. It's a great way. You can meet new friends. I heard some groaning and moaning, but that's the way it goes. Okay. August 18th, open house. Man, last year, you guys remember that was right after kind of after COVID, which it seems like that's never ending. But that was really the first thing that we'd got back to. And I'm telling you, Cabot High School was popping that night. It was exciting. It was real exciting to see that number of parents come through. Come to open house, meet your child's teachers, come through the building. We'd love to see you. August the 22nd, first day of school. All right. I think the parents are happier. That's my guess. Okay. I'm just going to run through this. This is the office staff, and these are the people that you talk to. And I will tell you, this presentation will go on the website, I think. I think it will go on the website. So you'll be able to pull it up, and you'll be able to go back through it. I encourage you to go back through it. There's a couple of things that I'm just about to touch on that I really want you to make sure you cover with your students. So there's our office secretaries and all that. If you want to help your child be successful, get them involved. They need to be involved in a club, a group, a sport, a team, band, anything. Research and data tells us that students that are actively involved in any extracurricular activity is more successful. Get them involved. I'll talk about it in just a minute. Right here it is. 50 clubs. We have more than 50 clubs. Every year, I have a group of 2, 3, 4, 5 kids that come to me and they want to start a new club. Absolutely. You want to start a club? Absolutely. We'll figure out a way to make it happen. We'll help you make it happen. We want the kids to come and be active and be a part of a bigger group. There's accountability, there's responsibility, and it's a good practice. There's just a few clubs that we have. That's just a few of them. Club Rush. This is where during both lunches one day, we'll have all the clubs out in the courtyard, and they'll have a sign-up sheet, and they'll have a bulletin board or some kind of poster or something that explains what they're about. And your son or daughter can go around and they can sign up. They can sign up for every club out there if they want to. But they can sign up and they can be a part if they want to be a part of that club. That's really a fun time. We have a great day during that lunchtime. And it's a good thing for kids. Parents, we need you to partner with us. We are going to be the front runner for your child's education academically, but we want to partner with you. Never in the history of school has it been so easy to know your child's grade every single day. You need to sign up on your hack account, and if you're not real tech savvy, welcome to the club. All you have to do is you call the Student Success Center at the high school, and when that secretary answers the phone, you just say, "Help. Help me, please." And we will talk you through getting you on your hack account to monitor your son or daughter's grades every day. One of the first questions that any of us will ask, counselors or principals, whenever you call and ask about your son's grades or your academics or whatever, have you checked his grades today? That's going to be one of the first things we ask you. I get calls from parents. We get calls from parents, and parents sometimes want to talk about a teacher. And we're going to say, have you checked his grades, her grades? What are they? We're going to ask you some hard questions. And I'm going to tell you, amazingly, 2022, in the day of technology, we still get parents that say, well, I hadn't been on there lately. Well, shame on you. That wasn't very nice. Help us out. I promise you, we'll help you, but you've got to help us, and we've got to hold little Johnny or little Susie accountable. You need to know what their grade is all the time. We're going to help you. And you know what? Whenever you call, we're going to tell you, let me tell you what his grade is in that class. Or let me tell you what her grade is. We'll tell you, but we're also going to encourage you to get on Hack. Follow their grades. That's going to be the first thing we ask you. Student dress. I could preach. I could talk for a long time right here, and I'm going to a little bit. We are not fashion police. We don't want to be fashion police. We don't want to have to correct your son or your daughter on what they're wearing. We don't want to. Did you hear me? We don't want to. I promise you, we're pretty busy. And what they're wearing to class is not high on our priority list, but guess what? We're held accountable. The guy that has the big office across the street, that has the 7 bosses, it's important to them. That means it's important to us. We don't want, parents hear me say, we don't want to do it. We don't want to tell you that your daughter's not dressed appropriately. But I'll tell you we will. And I'm asking you right now, parents, I'm asking you right now, if we call you and ask you to help us out, bring a change of clothes, I'm asking you right now to support us. We're not picking on him or her. We have too much to do than to pick on anybody. One of the first things you're going to hear from your precious daughter is, well, Mama, there were 8 other girls wearing the same thing. And you know what I'm going to tell you when you tell me that? You're probably right. But we didn't catch them. Go out on the interstate, there's 25 cars going down the interstate, 20 of them are speeding, the cop's going to get 1. It doesn't make it right, but that's reality. Parents, help us out. Know what your kids are wearing to school. I'm going to go over that in just a minute. Know what they're wearing to school. We're going to school. We're not going to a party. We're not going to the mall. We're not out to do anything but just enhance the educational process. That's not a real popular subject, especially this group right here. I know. But I'm just telling you, parents, if we call you, please support us. Just support us. Because I promise you, we're not doing it to pick on anybody. We don't have time for that. And that won't be the last time I talk about it. Okay, absences and tardies, just follow your children. Follow your children and know where they are. Grades and attendance. Remember what I said about Hack? Same thing. You know when you can find out if they're absent. The student handbook is online. You're going to be asked to look through that, look at the dress code, look at discipline codes and everything. And there'll be a time whenever your child, or you're going to have to sign that. Cell phones and social media. Can we just be nice? Can we just be nice? Support your local community. Support your schools. Support your kids. There is so much negativity out there. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to tell our teachers the same thing. Let's just be nice. Let's don't attack people. Let's don't make nasty remarks. Let's just try to be nice to each other and get along. Cell phones. Our teachers are instructed to not allow cell phones to be out in class. They're not allowed to be out in class. We allow them between classes. We allow them at lunch, before school, after school. you're fine. It's fine. But during class time, they're not allowed to have their phone out. Parents, I ask you to support us if we call you about dress code. I'm asking you to support us if we call you about the cell phone. Because the cell phone can cause so much damage. We have cyberbullying. We have kids that are taking pictures. We have kids that are sharing things that are inappropriate and wrong. It's not a good time. It's just not a good time. So help us with cell phones, please. I'm going to answer questions later on, I promise. Here's dress code. This is brand new. I'm going to give you a second to kind of look at it. It is a gender-neutral dress code. Spaghetti straps. I don't even know what those are. But those little bitty thin straps, not acceptable. Not acceptable. They need to be wide. They need to come, boys and girls, I'm talking both. They need to go from armpit to armpit, nothing below that. They can't show any undergarments, t-shirts, bras, any of that. Now, we are not going to start out punishing kids. That's not what this is about. We're going to help them get in compliance. If they are not in dress code, we're going to get them in compliance if we can. We're not punishing them. If we have to call you and say, look, we need you to come get him, he's got what's it called, Miss Gatewood? A-strap shirt? What's that? Miss Gatewood? She has the name for it. It's the white t-shirts with the real thin strap that guys wear sometimes. I wasn't going to say that. I was not going to say that. Not acceptable. That's why I asked Miss Gatewood, because she got onto me. But anyway, understand, unbelievable. Understand if we just want to get them in compliance. Now, if we stop a student and they're not in compliance and they refuse to get in compliance, that's not a dress code violation. That's insubordination or disrespect, and that's different. Okay, so again, this is where I'm telling you, parents, support us. If we call you, please support us. We're not picking on anybody. We're trying to do the right thing. Shorts, you guys can read all that. I'm not going to read it, but you can read what we're looking at. Again, we're coming to school. We're not going to a party. We're not going to a swim party. We're coming to school to learn. You parents, I know what you're thinking. Pajamas? That's what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I'm telling you, we have more kids wearing those infernal pajama pants. And we're not going to allow it. It's just not going to happen. Caps, hats, and toboggans. Out in the courtyard in the sun, I'm going to wear a hat. We expect it's fine. But once you walk into a building, you can't wear your hats. Now, we're kind of in a different time of a different era, and people are wearing hats more and more. There's probably 100 hats right now worn inside in this building right now. But at a point in time, some of you older people like me will understand that it was a sign of respect. A gentleman removed his hat when he walked into a building. That's just what you did. You were expected to do that. And another thing about hats, in a classroom, we have to monitor kids. We have to watch them, especially when they're taking a test or doing some homework or doing some classwork. If their hat's on, you can just do more. Does that make sense? And so we have to watch them, and that's why we do that. It's a twofold thing. It's a sign of respect. It's just an accepted mode of civility, and we need to do that. So we won't let them wear hats in the building. We'll start out, it's not punitive, it's not going to be you're in trouble. The only way that becomes an issue is if they're defiant or if they just continue to wear it, then it becomes more than just a hat. Okay, I'm going to show this video. This is Simon Sinek, and this is a little bit about, it's called Digital Dementia, and it's about the cell phone. This is something that's really important to us. Your teachers are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Parents, I think you're going to be very, I think this will open your eyes.
I can't even imagine what the suicide and homicide and just the rates of depression, and accidental death due to overdose are going to look like in the future. It's going to reach epidemic proportions. It's already, the statistics are already alarming, and yet nobody's sounding any alarm bells.
Digital dementia. This is a real medical term right now. This is the idea that we're outsourcing our brains to our smart devices. We're so reliant on our smartphones that our smartphones are making us stupid. Does that make sense? It's convenient. I don't want to memorize 500 phone numbers, right? Nobody wants to do that. But we've lost the ability to memorize one. Like if I give you a 7-digit number now, how difficult? Would it be you find that kind of difficult to memorize, like a phone number that you used to do years ago? Yes or yes? Because if I take my arm, I put it into a sling for 6 months, does it stay the same? Would it even grow stronger? It would what? It would atrophy and grow weaker. Same thing with your mental muscles. If you're relying on your phone to keep your schedules, your to-dos, I went out to dinner with 10 people recently. There was 10 of us. And 3 people at the end pulled out their phones to divide the bill by 10. We've lost the ability to be able to do certain things, and so that's where digital dementia is. Smart devices could be extremely convenient, but they could be crippling also. So it could be a balance.
Can I borrow someone's phone, please? Anyone? Thank you. Okay, there is a subconscious reaction to these devices when we use them, okay? What if I were to hold my phone while I'm talking to you? I'm not checking it, it's not buzzing, it's not beeping, I'm nothing, I'm just holding it. Do you feel at this moment that you are the most important thing to me right now? No, you do not. Because there is a subconscious reaction we have to the device. When it is out, it makes the people around us feel that they are less important. So when we're walking down the halls in our offices and somebody says, hey boss, can I ask you a question? You go, sure, what's on your mind? We've just told them they're not that important. Or we can go, sure, what's on your mind? And if you don't have a pocket, find a shelf, put it on the shelf, come back and say, sure, what's on your mind? When we show up to a meeting or a lunch or a dinner with our colleagues, our clients, or our friends, or our families, and we put the phone on the table, we have announced to everyone in the room that they are not that important to us. And by the way, putting the phone upside down is not more polite. My favorite one is in the meeting or at a lunch with someone that the phone will ring and the caller ID will pop up and they will go, I'm not going to get it. Oh, so magnanimous. Oh, I'm lucky to eat with you today. Or they could just put the damn thing away. You can tell how addicted we are. When somebody pulls out their phone when you're with them, how uncomfortable does that make us feel? You're walking down the street with someone, they pull their phone out. We feel stupid, so what do? We pull our phones out. We're so addicted. Somebody goes to the bathroom when we're at dinner, and what do we have to sit there by ourselves? God forbid we should look around the room for 5 minutes. We pull our phones out. Meetings, awful. What do we do when a meeting happens, right? Everybody's sitting waiting for the meeting to start. Bob's running a few minutes late. Bob's here? Okay, start the meeting. Do you know when relationships are built? All that in between time. Thank you very much. Parents have to intervene. We have to stop giving our kids free access to social media and phones at young ages. They are not ready for it. Their minds cannot cope with the dopamine. Balance is fine. You can give a kid a phone, but they can't use it in their bedroom. They can't have it at the dinner table. They can't take it to school. They can only have it up to a certain hour, and you take it away. They're children. You can take the phone away. We've got to intervene as parents. But as companies, we now have to deal with the influx of kids that are coming into our companies with addiction. Watch, I see it all the time. Walk through any office. You'll see the older employees have their phones on the sides of their computers as they're working. You'll see the youngest employees have their phones face up in front of their keyboards between their arms as they're working. And this is how they work. And the science is alarming. They did experiments on mice where they did the multitasking. They put flashing lights to mimic going from the computer to the cell phone, the computer to the cell phone to the TV. The mice that were exposed to the changing lights, it took them 3 times longer to solve a maze than the mice that weren't, and the damage was permanent. It didn't improve when they stopped the lights.
I think we're going to find out. I think we're already finding out exactly. This video is about, I'm going to say, at least 6, 8 years old. I think we're already seeing the depression and the suicide rates and the things that are associated. I think we're seeing that. I'm going to tell you, I'm seeing it in the employees that we hire. The addiction to cell phones, the need to always be on the cell phone. 99% of the cell phones in this room are owned by who? Mom and dad. Mom and dad. Not the students. 99% of them. There may be some in this room right now. No, sir, Mr. Hawkins, I pay for my phone. Well, good luck. But if you are the parent and you own that phone, who's responsible for that phone? The parents are. Let me tell you, you want to know who your child hangs around with? You check his phone. You check her phone. You want to know how your son or daughter talks and interacts? You check their cell phones. I'm going to challenge every one of you right now. Parents, every one of you, check your daughter or your son's cell phone tonight when you get home. Students, you better not delete anything. Parents, if you go through there and there's some deleted things, you know they deleted it. Parents, you want to know if your child speaks nicely, if they use the wrong language, you check that cell phone. That cell phone, does it go to bed with them every night? If it does, you need to think about that. That cell phone can tell you more than you want to know about your children. I'll let you look at this. This is our Chromebooks. This is how we deal with this, and we ask you to hold your child, your student, accountable for keeping it charged and bringing it to school ready to use. One of our focus areas at Cabot High School is to not be married to a computer. Don't use the computer. Don't use the Chromebook unless you have to. You know, we went digital there for almost a year and it was not good. So we want our teachers. We want teachers face-to-face with kids. We want face-to-face learning. And that's what our encouragement is, and that's what our challenge is. We are on a closed campus. Students can't leave. Once they get on campus, if they ride a bus, if they drive, if they ride with someone, if you drop them off, they cannot leave this campus without checking out. If they leave our campus without checking out, that's skipping. You come on campus in the morning, you can't get off the bus and walk across the street and get a drink or something. That's not legal. That's not acceptable. You can't do it. You can't leave campus. That is strictly for your safety. That's the safety of your children. If they leave campus, we can't monitor them. Student checkout. Medication is no different than it's been forever. You still check in medicine. We have 2 nurses who stay busy all day long, and they dispense and give medicine, check our kids, and they take care of our kids, and they're there to help. So if you have any questions about that, you'll need to talk to our nurses. We talk about this every year. Well, come on. Well, she can come up here. It's kind of lonely up here. We talk about bullying. We make the forms available. When they come to the office, we immediately give them a notebook and allow them to make a bullying report. We immediately follow through. We check it out. We look. We do everything we can. If you ever feel like your child is bullied or there's something going on, you call us. You call us. We'll check it out. We'll communicate with you. We'll do what we can to help. It happens. It happens. And a lot of times, just open communication can solve the problem. Talk with us. Let us know. We have a mandatory drug testing policy. If your child is in any extracurricular activity, band, sports, football, basketball, student council, agri, FFA, you name it. If they're in any club or organization, or they have a parking tag to park on campus, they are automatically put into a drug testing pool. Once every 3 to 4 weeks, we have a random pool, and we randomly drug test kids every 3 to 4 weeks. Roughly 100 to 150 students every 3 weeks, every 3 or 4 weeks. So, if you have any questions about that, you're welcome to talk to us. This is simply, it's not to catch anyone. It's to stop them from using drugs. We want the students to say, you know what, I'm in band, and I'm going to say, no, I'm not doing that because I love band, and I don't want to ruin the chance of something happening. Oh. It's all right. This is another opportunity if you want to take your phone out and take a picture. This is the bell schedule from the high school. What time does school start? What time does school start? No. 7:50. Parents, listen to me real quick. School starts at 7:50. We have 0 hour, that's our academic period. That's when school starts. I will tell you, my son, he's going to be an 11th grader, he knows if he has all A's and B's, then school starts at 8:30. If he has a missing assignment, if he needs to make up a test, if his grade drops to a C, he knows he's going to have his little hiney at that class at 7:50. Parents, our 0 hour is a great opportunity to make up a test, to redo an assignment, to get extra tutoring help, to get extra time with a teacher. And again, whenever you make a call to any of us, we're going to ask you what's their grade, and we're going to ask you how many times have they been to 0 hour. Be prepared to answer those two things right away, parents, because we're going to want to know, he has a D, how many times has he gone to 0 hour? Now, we check roll, students. So if you go, you can't tell your mom, well, I was there, but they just didn't count me present. That's not true. That's not true. We are going to have a renewed emphasis on 0 hour. We want you to take advantage of that hour, that 30 minutes for 0 hour. We want to make sure you're there. I want to introduce one other person. Miss Berry is here somewhere, I know. There's Miss Berry. We hired her this summer. She is going to be our academic interventionist, and she is going to work closely with this group of kids. She is basically the 10th grade mama, and she's going to help and do things that are going to help hold your child accountable. If academically they're struggling, you talk to the principal, a counselor, and then you're going to eventually talk to her. And we're going to get, if you want them to be, and if we can work together, we're going to hold them accountable. I hesitate to say this because it tells you how old I am. This is my 40th year in education. 40th year. I know I don't look that old. I know that. 40 years. And one thing I've learned, parents, ironclad. Ironclad. If you and me, if you and us are working together, we have a greater chance of being successful with that little darling. I guarantee you. If we're working together, Now, if it's all because of the teacher, or if it's all because of the principal, and if you're not cooperating with us, we're going to still work our tails off. But it's not going to be, we don't have a great chance for success. Now, that's okay if you disagree with us. We want to hear it, of course. But we want you to hear us too. And we're going to have data. You have to understand, he has not come to 0 hour in 3 weeks. He's missing 3 assignments. We can blame the teacher, we can blame whatever, but he's not done this. Work with us. You hold us accountable, but we'll hold you accountable. And we're going to ultimately hold these darlings accountable because we want to make them successful, I promise you. What time school start? 7:50. There we go. We're rolling now. 7:50. 7:50. We can reward you. We can reward you if you have great grades, right? Right, Mom? Right, Dad? We can do that. Okay, I kind of got ahead of that slide, but that's 0 hour right there. We do have typically 1 day a week, and we'll have this posted outside of every teacher's door, 1 day a week where they'll have what we call PLC meetings or team meetings or departmental meetings, something like that. And so the students will know on Tuesday I can't go into her room because that's the day of the week where she has that meeting. They'll know. Sophomores are they're the low man on the totem pole. So your parking is the farthest away. I apologize right up front. Sophomores, if you drive, they'll be parking across the street. You can see here's a map, the 2 yellow stars. That's the tennis court, the central office, parking lot across the highway. We have a crossing guard before school and after school. We're going to protect them darlings. But if you're a sophomore, you've got to park out there. Now, some of you are 15 and won't be driving for a while. But if in November you turn 16 and you're fortunate enough to have a ride or a car, you can buy a parking tag then. You can buy a parking tag anytime during the year, okay? So just know, once you start driving, you have to provide proof of insurance. You have to have your driver's license and license. The car license number. Registration. Okay. All right, so I've already talked about career tech education. That's just another slide. It tells you some of the things that we offer. Again, I'm telling you, we offer more than some junior colleges. Some of the principal buddies that I have at different meetings, they tease me. They call us the University of Arkansas at Cabot. I take that. I'm proud of that. But we have more offerings than a lot of junior colleges. Next steps. For the next 3 years, you're going to hear us use that term a lot because we are preparing your darling, your son or your daughter, for college or whatever's next. Trade school, military, the career world, whatever. We're preparing your child for that. And matter of fact, your kids are going to get tired of hearing what's your next step. What's your next step? Have you prepared for that? And each year, as we get toward that senior year, you become more accountable, and we give you more things that you have to do, and we prepare you. And again, I'm not going to read all that. You can look through there. One thing we do that's really cool, we have a career fair. We have a career fair where we have local businesses that will come on campus that are looking to hire. And so we have juniors and seniors, and some sophomores, but juniors and seniors especially that can go to this and they can get a job. I'll let you kind of look over that. This is data, and it just tells you that an advanced college degree will be the most lucrative thing you can do, and it kind of breaks it down with a college degree and different things. But I'll go back to what I said earlier. We all know plumbers that are making 6 figures. We all know welders that are making 6 figures. I told you from the very beginning, your student safety is our number one concern. We will watch your kids. We're going to do everything we can to make them safe and successful. That is our number one goal right there. We want kids to be safe. Cell phones are an issue for us, Mom, Dad. Cell phones are an issue. There's too much on the cell phones. I'm going to encourage you, I'm going to challenge you, when you get home tonight, check your child's phone. I get a phone call every year after this meeting. You're not going to believe what I found on his phone. Students, don't you be deleting anything. Again, just looking through there, we have an open door policy. You come see us, you call us. If you don't get a return call within 24 hours, you call me. You call me, because I promise you we'll return your call. We're going to communicate with you. We're going to support you. I started out a few minutes ago. I talked about a positive social media presence. I'm asking you, please, be positive. Be positive. If there's anything that you hear that's negative, if there's something that you hear that you don't agree with, please call me. Please call one of us. Let us try to explain it. When you get through, you may still not like us, and you may be mad as a hornet, but at least you've given us a chance. So much of what we hear is just garbage. It's just garbage. It's not true. Give us a chance, and by all means, let's be positive. Let's support Cabot High School. Let's support each other in this endeavor. Make sure your son or daughter comes to school prepared to learn. Make sure their Chromebooks charged up. Make sure they're on time. Make sure they're dressed appropriately. Make sure you hold them accountable for their academics at home. If there's an issue, call us. Let us know. Let us know. We're going to help you. Monitor the grades. Monitor their grades. Monitor their grades. Again, this is our focus for our teachers. They come back next Monday. Next Monday is the first day we have with our teachers. And this is going to be our focus for this school year. Cabot High, School of Innovation, and we're going to look at innovative practices, innovative relationships, and we're going to look at innovative professionals. That's our focus. And I'm going to tell you that relationship piece is so important. If they walk into math class and if they like their math teacher, they are going to have a better chance to be successful. And that's what I'm going to tell those teachers Monday morning when I talk to them. We have to be approachable. We have to be relatable. We have to interact with those kids. That's our job. I think I went over a little bit. I apologize for that. I'm so proud and so glad you came. Thank you for being here. We are all around the room. If you have specific questions, you're welcome to come. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here.